When you fall down, focus on the solution, not the problem. You might quit or fail 100 times. Keep that clear picture in your head of where you want to be. David Goggins. This is Harris.
And my name is Herna.
This is the Power of 8 show, episode 12.
12, sir.
Right? It's been a fat little minute since we've...
Number 12.
Yeah, gathered back here, man.
Yeah,
what,
man.
2 weeks? 3 weeks?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
But, we're still going.
It's been a crazy couple of weeks, that's for certain.
For sure. Absolutely. It's been a lot. So, I guess you mentioned that, we need to have, like, a gimmick.
Right.
So we've come to a conclusion that with this show, we're always constantly trying to find the meaning of life.
Yeah.
And the meaning of life from others, and the meaning of life of how we portray it.
Yeah.
And the different ways we go about tackling certain problems, certain situations, experiences in life, and how to kind of take them in and ponder them and also process them, I think.
Apply them to our daily lives, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, because like I've actually had this conversation a lot the last probably 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of the way human beings perceive the world, and the afterlife. That we've always kind of, since the dawn of time, always had this perception as to how the world goes, right? We got, God, how many religions do we got on this earth?
A lot, man.
A lot, right?
And I'm sure there's religions out there that we couldn't even name.
Exactly. Some that have lost into time, So, I mean, it's always been some kind of like a challenge almost to try and make sense of the way of the world, and I mean, in this modern day, we're going to have a much different take on it because, hey, we're in a new age, it's like, it's modern, man. This is different. The world has never been like this before. So, I mean, it's important to record the meaning of life through all people's eyes.
Yeah.
That's extremely important. The stories that make the world what it is today, we've got to record that. We've got to maintain that. So I like that, the meaning of life.
Absolutely.
All right. So tell everybody what you've accomplished today.
Oh, just today.
Just today.
Today I called it. I posted up a video, just recently.
On your Instagram?
Yeah, it was me at mile 27. I was just saying, and I heard Goggins say it one time too. It's like we qualify every year for certain shit,
Right.
Like tattoo artists, they qualify for their bloodborne pathogens. Doctor, they probably have certain qualifications. Any work job, I'm sure there's different qualifications.
Yeah.
To meet.
Yeah.
To me, though, I yet to have a race this year.
Right.
And that means I haven't yet qualified as a quote-unquote fucking savage. So
I like that.
Need it, and like I was looking at it like that. It's just like, but to qualify, you got to do some prerequisites sometimes. And,
yeah, you got to put the work in.
That's right. So today I ran about 32 miles almost, 31.8. Just, I've done it before, but I just hadn't done it in a while. I think the last 50K, 31 miles is 50K kilometers. Just for people who know, whenever I run like a 50K. And the last time I ran one was back in November of last year when I ran the Buffalo Run. But, like I'll have more on those stories.
That's a cool story too, by the way.
Yeah. But, goddamn. Choking up.
All right.
But like... there's times, man, where I go out there to basically test my fucking soul.
Okay.
And just to test the limits of my mind. If you know your pain threshold and what you've been to before, like I was cramping today kind of bad. I was hurt. I felt sick to my stomach, honestly, at some points. But all in all, it's like, okay, I've done this before, even though I hadn't run it in a while.
Okay.
I did it out anyways because I know I could do it.
Yeah. Your mind has power over the mortality enough to be able to push yourself.
Exactly.
Because you've done it before, man. What's stopping you?
There is also a point where I was just like, man, let me call my dad's girlfriend or something, man. She needs to pick my ass up at some point. I'm fucking fucked up.
That's cool.
I said no. I was thinking, like, maybe I'll run just a marathon, but that just isn't enough.
Right.
Like, I could tell people, oh, yeah, I went on a long run today, I ran a marathon, but my goal was 50K.
Yeah.
And people would still be like, oh, that's good. But I would know.
Yeah.
I would know if I had lied or not
But, you know, a lot of that, too, it's like, I find
to myself.
people,
like, if I had set myself a goal.
Yeah,
you know,
people tend to, like, brush, like, oh, man, yeah, 50K, right on, that's cool, you know? And they're just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Because they don't completely understand the scope of what 50K looks like, feels like, you know, like, the distance
You've
itself.
ran, what, like, the farthest is 10 miles before?
Yeah, dude.
You know what that...
Yeah, that hurts.
That does hurt.
That hurts, you know? You sit down at the end of the day and you're like, all right, I'm done.
Dude, that's what was me today, too. Like, I got to mile, 9 point something.
Right.
And I was like, fuck, man. I got, like, 22 more miles to go. Like, dude, that's hard to process,
like a mind fuck. Yeah,
it is
true.
a mind fuck, man.
Right.
You know, a lot of people don't know how to process that, I think. And that's okay. I don't shame anyone for it. I used to.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't run like me, but fuck you, get hard. But no, it's like, but I don't expect people to understand either.
Yeah.
It's like, it's rough.
Yeah, I am.
Things,
right.
so.
Well, I just recently had somebody. I said something about like, oh yeah, you know, have you ever ran like 4 miles?
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, what? Like in the gym? I was like, what do you mean in the gym? They're like, what? That's like 4 laps around the field or something like that. I was like, yeah, but do you know how long 4 miles feels? And they were like, well, yeah, you go around that lap a bunch of times. I was like, no, I don't think you understand. I was like, 4 miles, that leaves gross taste in your mouth, you know? I was like that far away. I was like, to put that in kind of perspective, I was like, that's a trip, you know? And they just kind of were like, oh, wow, yeah, that is weird, you know? Because a lot of people don't tend to put that shit into perspective like that. They're just like, 4 miles, I hear about it on TV, you know, like right on, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's that physical... the physical nature of it, they're like, oh wow, that's a little bit incomprehensible to a lot of people, you know?
I was it the other day I woke up and my girl was still in bed. I'm like, hey baby, I'm gonna go run I'm gonna go run, and she knew. I was like, yeah, okay, she knows how I run. Like, I come back, I'm breathing hard and shit, but like we're still chilling, and I'm like, yeah, she's like, how far did you run? Like, I'm like, I ran just 8 miles. She's like, just 8 miles? So I'm glad she gets it.
Right, yeah, it's like, wait, what the fuck?
Just 8 miles. And it's just like, yeah, this is just a chill 8 miles.
Right.
But, you know.
That is one thing I've learned with you, though, is that whenever you say, yo, we're going to go for a run, I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, all right, here we go. We're going to do some crazy
honestly,
shit.
like, I think it's so important. I did the first half today without any music, too.
Right on. That's not hard or easy to do.
It's not, but at the same time, too, it's like, you think a lot.
Yeah.
You know, when you're by yourself, there's this deep thought process.
Okay.
Just like I challenge people to just go out and do. It doesn't matter, dude. Like, you can draw, you can read, just something without music.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel like you process things just a little bit more.
Okay.
I feel like you're able to get inside your head a little bit more. Like, how do I think? You know,
right.
Versus like.
You know, I know you've brought this up a couple of times, even within like psychedelics.
Yeah.
Whenever we take something like that, you always say like, take a minute, sit down, and meditate. And so, like, for a long time, I was just like, oh, man, you know, meditate on that shit? That would be weird. But then at the same time, I was just like, man, now I've almost got that desire where I just want to sit down and just fucking meditate, bro, and lock in my own head, you know, and just kind of soak in yourself, you know, because a lot of times, I'm 100% guilty. I use audiobooks. Bro, I've always got an audiobook going in my ear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude, I hardly have... The last little bit, I've only listened to music like a handful of times. I've been listening to audiobooks like crazy.
Yeah.
I think I'm moderately addicted to audiobooks right now. You know, because there's a lot of good stuff out there. But like, to detach from that and do something and just kind of be in your own head for a minute, it's not exactly easy. You know? Especially when you've got something so, you know, smooth and entertaining as, you know, sound, audio, something like that. It really does move the time along. But to go inside your head, that's important.
It is.
It's necessary.
I think a lot of people need to take that time away. Now, don't get me wrong, and I was thinking about this too, is because I feel like, you know, you and I are both kind of extroverted.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That I gain a lot of energy when I'm around certain people, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm around you, I definitely feel better.
Yeah.
You know? Or when I'm around my girl, like, I get a certain energy from her that just, like, fucking lifts me up.
Exactly.
You know, I get a certain energy around certain people. Or places, you know, especially like raves or especially like the gym.
Trails, dude.
Trails, if I'm like talking to someone, if I do ever talk, I'm usually, you know, like. But if I'm on the trails, it is a lot of solo work. And being extroverted, I'll gain a lot of my energy from people, but at the same time too, it does get exhausting being around a lot of people sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, you know, it can be, and I think
I find it drains my battery, so to speak.
it can sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need it though. For
Exactly.
sure. It definitely
exactly.
helps a
to
lot.
recharge that battery. But yeah, sometimes I just feel drained.
That I'm just
And
like,
then I'm like,
yeah,
I just gotta lock
see my
myself
time
out, right?
and do my own thing.
Yeah.
Where like, I always sometimes if I'm having a crazy day, I'm like, I'll look at the mountains and I feel like they called to me. Like,
Okay, I know.
they've
what you
been
mean.
calling at me for a while, and that's why I
Yeah.
did go out today too. I'm like, I knew I had to go out there because it's just like, out there you get a lot of fucking thinking a lot of shit out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you work a lot of.
So it's almost like like a spiritual journey. So
It is, man. Like, dude, I was walking through that like the divide.
Mhm.
Like during, I told you where I went inside there.
Yeah.
It was just like this crazy looking trail. It looked crazy, man. It just almost something out of a movie. I could hear like birds. You
Right.
know? So I had no music in it.
Yeah.
It was just like some weird dude just laying there tilling the grasses.
Isn't it crazy being present in the current moment?
It is. Because, you know, and I was thinking that too. Like, a lot of us will use, like, when we're comfortable, dude, we're in our head.
Yeah.
And we're thinking about all the future and the past. Like,
Yep.
we're thinking about...
So-and-so said
I'm-
this.
Fuck, I
so-and-so
was late
did
to work.
that.
I might get fired. Or,
Hey, yeah.
God, this person, I'm thinking about this. Like, they're probably speaking shit about me. Whatever
Right.
it is. Dude, when you're in fucking pain,
Yeah.
or you are just miserable,
Yeah.
dude, you do not give a fuck about anything at
Right,
that
well-
time.
well, like,
you're
I-
just trying to get out of that moment as fast. Yeah, you get real present.
Yeah, well,
real
see,
quick.
I remember a quote. I forget where it was from, but I just remember that it was depression and anxiety. They hate a moving target, and I believe that's a fact. You know, because if you're out running or you're working out or you're moving and constantly going, depression and anxiety doesn't like that shit, dude. It's
no.
it's not gonna go after the guy. That moving target, that's hard to hit. You know, I was like,
Oh,
I like
yeah.
that, dude.
I like that a lot too.
Right?
I'm gonna use that, man.
Yeah.
Depression and say that one more time.
Depression and anxiety hate a moving target.
Okay.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I find that so true. You know,
It is.
if you start getting in your head, go do something.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I imagine even like art. You're not in your head when you're doing art. I mean, when you're doing it, you're producing something. You're expelling something. You know, when you're sitting there and you're not doing anything at all, yeah, I imagine you're gonna be able to have some shit bounce around your head. You know, go
yeah.
express, go do something. You know, I like that.
Yeah, I say that too. I like that because I've noticed too that when you are feeling a certain type of way, if you literally just go exhaust yourself a little bit, get your body moving, you will feel a lot better, man.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll feel a lot clearer
Right.
in your mind space. Like, dude, right now, bro, I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, I'm chill.
Right, yeah, you good.
I was, you know, it was like I just exerted myself for 7 hours.
Right.
Like, what fucks do I have to give
Exactly.
other than, hey, we're good?
See, I'm a firm believer that, you know, when you're sweating,
Yeah.
you're expelling shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sweat's not getting rid of some
Those
positive
little beads
energy.
of sweat, man.
That's good.
Those little beads are like, those are little sob stories coming out. Little fucking
Little demons,
little-
man, they can't handle it.
No, they can't. Oh, God.
Yeah, they gotta get the fuck out, man.
Yeah,
Right?
bro, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's good, man. But yeah, I'm a firm believer in that shit. You need like a little personal therapy. Go make yourself sweat.
Yeah,
You'll be good.
absolutely. And another thing too, man. One other basis I want to touch on today is because again I did a lot of deep thinking out there.
Yeah.
And I have a buddy who do crazy shit.
Okay.
Crazy fucking shit. I'm out on the trails, and I still don't have I usually put my phone on Do Not Disturb, but
Yeah.
you know I didn't have it. But I did get a text message from a friend,
Right.
and he, you know, I'm not gonna say the name. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's a good dude. I fucking
Yeah.
love this guy, and that's what I'm gonna go to
Right.
eventually. Like some crazy shit happened at where I used to work.
Okay.
One of my coworkers apparently killed somebody.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Killed a Tinder date.
Woo.
Like, bro, like, you know what I mean? I sat next to this guy. I vaped with this dude.
Yeah.
Like, this dude turns out just killed a Tinder date apparently
Okay.
last night.
Woo.
So I'll leave that there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, my buddy and I went back and forth. Like, yo, this shit's crazy, right? I'm like, bro, that's fucking. I don't even know. I literally had to stop running. I just was like walking on.
Yeah.
I was
Like what the fuck?
How do you process that?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know, like this is something I feel like needs to be touched basis on because you don't know people.
Yeah.
Like the guy, he was a cool dude,
Mm-hmm.
but I also knew he was also kind of socially awkward.
Right.
You could tell like from his vibe and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Sugar honey iced tea. That, you know, okay, but I
Something
didn't.
was weird. Yeah. You felt a weird vibe.
Yeah, but at the same time, he was a cool dude.
Yeah.
You just didn't expect. It's just like when you hear that shit, you're like, what?
Yeah. Right.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
Yeah. It's definitely a surprise.
So, but we're gonna leave it at that. But and we'll follow out. You know,
Yeah.
after I'll talk to you more about. It. But my buddy, he.
Yeah,
I remember hearing about this in a book by Humble the Poet.
Which one of that, by the way?
It's the
Is that Unlearn or
Things Nobody Can Teach Us.
Things Nobody Can Teach Us.
Yeah, it's his second book.
Okay.
I don't know if you've done any of his books yet.
No. I got the audiobook yesterday. I was like, screw it, because
which one?
What is it? I want to say it's
Unlearn.
the things. Yeah, the Unlearn one. That
one's good.
Okay.
But I'd say Things Nobody Can Teach Us is honestly better.
Okay, that's on my wish list.
Bro, that shit's fucking good.
See, he reads it, so that's what excites me. Humble the Poet.
He's
reads
awesome.
It. I'm like,
dude.
fuck yeah,
cool
dude.
ass dude. If anyone hasn't looked up Humble the Poet, look up some of his podcasts. I specifically recommend the one with Conversations with Tom from Impact Theory, or the London Real episode.
Okay.
If you're trying to be like hustle, grind, like get fucking fired up about being an entrepreneur and just like planting little seeds, kind of like what I feel like you and I are doing right now. Like, go watch that. I totally recommend it, or just listen to his book.
Impact Theory. All right. Conversation with Tom.
Yeah.
Okay, but what was the quote you were saying?
Well, not the quote. He talks about in that book, man. This is what I'm getting to. He talks about in that book that he had a friend.
Okay.
That just would always want to hang out with, not always want to hang out, but like whenever he was in town or something, would just always ask, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You want to hang out? And he kind of would just blow him off.
Okay.
Just to go try to be synced in with the more popular crowd, the people who were higher up, the people who were famous, people who were more aligned with what his goals were.
Right.
But this friend would always just was wondering how he was doing, but he didn't really see that. He was just like, oh, if you're not doing what I'm doing, I can't hang out with you.
Yeah, you're not about it.
Exactly. And he goes to hang out with him maybe for half an hour one time, and that's the last time he sees him. Talks to him, sends one more message, and it turns out his friend I think dies in like a car crash or something. Wow. I can't remember how he dies.
Right.
He's just like, fuck. But all that friend ever asked for was just a story. He just wanted to see how his pal was doing, even though they weren't doing the same shit. Like, he's an entrepreneur. I think his friend did something else.
Yeah, he just wanted to make a connection.
Yeah, he just was asking how his friend was.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that also lately. I don't want. If you're an entrepreneur right now, if you are in the creative space, if you're going after something like that's goal worthy and that you feel is going to make you feel successful personally, that you don't forget about the people who just give a fuck about you.
Right.
Versus, oh, hey, these people who are over here in what I'm aligned with, but they honestly, some of them are just fake as fuck or could give two rats ass about me.
Yeah.
Versus I still have this friend over here who's not doing what I'm doing, but he just gives a fuck about me and my story.
Right.
I'd say look for those certain relationships in your life. And that's what my buddy is, the one who texted me today about that, is after he sent me that, I was like, fuck, man, like, he is a good dude. And we don't agree with like the same things all the time.
Right.
But I need that in my life too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that makes me ponder about how I'm like going about my life.
Yeah, you get somebody else's perspective.
Yeah, someone who's actually very different from me.
Right.
But I appreciate the disagreements because it also causes me to think.
Yeah.
Versus surrounding myself with people who are always in agreement.
People.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he also has good intent. He's a real ass motherfucker, man.
Right.
Sometimes he's just like, hey, how are you? Oh, how was your weekend?
Right.
Oh, hey, what do you think about this? He's not asking me for money, and he's not asking for like my time to get something out of it for free or whatever. He's just literally just a good, real, honest person.
Yeah, just wants to get your opinion, your thoughts. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
See, I like that, dude. It gets me thinking like through. See, because like when I go back to recharge my batteries, I tend to kind of just lock myself in like a solo zone, if that makes sense. You know, when I'm like recharging, dude, I'm not outreaching for anybody else. I'm not talking to very many people, you know. And I typically wind up being that guy that tends to talk and converse and just wonder what the fuck, you know? So, like, for a long time there, I kind of locked myself away and just kind of secluded myself from a lot of people that didn't really give a fuck about me, you know? And I just kind of was like, whatever, you know? So it makes me start thinking through just kind of like all the people that are in my life today. You know, you actually made a comment this week about answering my phone. You're like, this motherfucker, I'll call him all the time, and it's just like, this guy doesn't answer. And I'm just like, damn, yeah, I do that, you know? And it made me think about it. I was like, fuck, bro. You know, there are times where, like, my phone just goes off, and I'm like, fuck this thing. And I just walk away from it, you know? And it's just like, nah, man, answer the fucking phone, you know? It made me start thinking, I kind of twist the little story a bit. So, right, my grandpa passed away about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So we make a crazy trip to Iowa.
Oh,
I will fill that story in at a later date. That's madness.
It is madness.
Okay. But like throughout this, I had a family member of mine come up and she said something about, you know, the last thing I talked to this guy about was I asked him if he would loan me some money. She was like, that was the last conversation we had. And like she was having a minute, like a real minute with it, you know. She was like, how the fuck do I process through the rest of my life the last conversation with this individual being about money? You know, and I was just like, damn, you know, wow, you know, that really started me thinking, you know, like, really you got to be careful as to what you say to people, because you never know when the last conversation is going to be. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you need to have some kind of a purpose, some connection with the conversations you have with people. Don't just let it all just be, you know, talking about the weather or some shit, you know? Who gives a fuck what the sport teams do? Dude, what the fuck ever, you know? Connect. Have conversations, you know? You never know when that last one's going to chirp in. And you don't know what the fuck your last words are going to say, you know? Been reading the Gita a lot, you know, about the about karma, right? That we have like a karma that passes on from previous lifetimes. So if you were, you know, a dick in previous lifetimes, you could be receiving some negative karma from that lifespan that has nothing to do with now. So pretty much the current goal is to just constantly be feeding in good karma, because, you know, you might be working it off from a past lifetime or something. So you always just want to be in the pursuit of positive good karma, you know. And so then that kind of starts you thinking, you know, well, people are all different, and we all perceive things differently, we say things differently, we see things differently, and instead of just walking around like, you know, with the blinders on, like nobody gives a fuck, you know? Do you know how many conversations you have in the week, genuine fucking connections about something of actual substance, of not materialistic substance?
I feel a lot more now.
Right? Yeah, because you seek that,
yeah,
you know? Exactly. But it's like, if you didn't seek that, you wouldn't find that shit. Everything is so materialistic. Everything's about money. Everything's about what you're wearing, what you have in your hand, what you're driving. You know, it's like, who gives a fuck? That's not, that doesn't matter. That's materialistic, you know? At the same funeral, I had to, you know, the viewing at the mortuary where, you know, they lay him in the casket and you can come in, kind of say your final respects to essentially just a dead corpse. And I had a family member that was chilling with me, and they were just having a rough time, you know. They were looking at this person, and they were just like, oh my gosh, you know, this is horrible. I said, well, why? You know, well, because he's dead. Yeah, so why are you crying over a corpse? Well, because that's him. No, it's not. That's not him. He's on to something bigger and better, dude. He is on to the next part of this life. You know, that's just a fucking vehicle that he was on this earth with, you know? Like, he's moved on. What he left behind, that's materialistic. Whatever, yeah, so that's him. But that used to be him. You know, and that's completely materialistic. Don't waste your time on the material aspect of it. And I remember when I said that, it just like clicked. They were like, "Oh, you're right." You know, they were like, "That is materialistic." Yeah. You know, that's just an object at that point. You know, you got to have those connections, man. Those meaningful connections. Hold on to those, because that's what's rare in the world. That's what people are missing anymore. Everything's so materialistic because nobody gives a fuck about the, you know, that actual genuine connection, that spirituality. You know, that's the important aspect, you know? Yeah. Everybody always links that to religion, and I'm kind of on a mild anti-religion kick right now, because like I think it's so close-minded, dude. Like, for you to be able to put all of your ideals into something that another human being wrote on paper, that fucking makes my head spin. Because there's so much more to that. There's so much more to that than even us as humans could possibly perceive in our little pea brains, you know? Like, our fucking universe is so much more in depth than anything that even comes close to that, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like viewing the world looking through a keyhole. Bro, yeah, you're getting a peek of it, but that's not it. You know, that's not even a fragment of it.
Open the fucking door.
Yeah, dude, take a step back, unlock that fucking thing, and walk through it. You know, that's what's real. You know. So yeah, I've had my own little ponderings of the universe the last little bit.
I feel you, man. Right? No, absolutely, dude. I think you had a good kick there.
All right.
I think you have an absolute good kick there, and you have a good point.
All right.
And I'm happy with it. So.
Yeah, there's my 2 cents for the week. Well, yeah, what do you think about it, man?
Well, that was 2 cents needed, man. I agree with like a lot with what you said.
All right.
And I agree that we do attach ourselves to everything materialistic here on this earth. I agree that we don't see the bigger picture sometimes of our life.
Okay.
And
now let me throw something at you. What do you disagree? Is there anything in that you disagree with?
I think with the religion thing.
Okay.
That although I know religion can be bad.
Yeah.
You know, it can help you align yourself morally.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Because I've met good people,
right?
Who believe in a certain religion, who actually would probably give a fuck about me more than someone who's just like being an asshole and not caring about like that. You know, it has its bads, but it also can have its goods.
Well, what's the quote where religion without philosophy is fanaticism?
Fanaticism without religion is just mental concoction.
Right.
But you need a bit of both, I think.
I believe so.
You know, I had that kick back in 2015 where I let go of God for a while.
Okay.
Not that I wouldn't say I believe in God. If I had to put a name, it'd just be like there. You know, maybe there's a God or maybe whatever. You know.
Yeah.
There's an energy for sure. There's a source, and I would say though, back then it was like, yeah, man, fuck religion, fuck this, and like, oh, you believe in God? Oh, fuck you, you know? No, it's just like, people are gonna believe what they believe in.
Yeah.
And you know what? And that's literally what I thought today was on that trail too. Was just like, look, if I show people sometimes, look, a lot of people, I've heard it all.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, you know, why I love running. Some people are like, fuck yeah, man.
Right.
You know, I guess some dude who comes in the tattoo shop sometimes gets tattooed by this guy named Red. Badass, dude. He was a Marine also. And this Marine is also like, yeah, man, what's your race? You know, he's all stoked up about, man. And I tell him because we're very alike.
Yeah.
I get along very well with the military people because they understand.
Yeah.
And, you know, we'll go back and forth. And, you know, I've had some people be like, oh, you're running. Like, I feel good, man. Like, I have a certain feeling I get from running.
Right.
And people want to put a label on it. And it's like, oh, you know why you're feeling like that? You know, because like, your brain's not getting oxygen, so you're getting this high. I'm like, all right, man, cool.
All right.
Cool, but I want to, let me put your ass there, man.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, too, it's like, I don't expect someone to understand that point.
Right.
You know,
yeah,
and I don't care if they do.
Yeah.
And what really, it's like, oh, you're going to do you, and I'm going to do me.
Exactly.
I could give two shits about, like, some people's religion. If you're just a real person, man, who actually gives a fuck and just honestly has something to provide better for this world, like, I could give two rats ass because it's not my life.
Exactly.
I'm gonna live my life how I want to live it.
Yeah.
And you're gonna live your life.
See, that's kind of where I find a lot of respect in religion. Because, I mean, I'm not, like, anti-religion. You know, I'm kind of just, like, on my little soapbox.
It's destroying lives, goddammit!
I'm on my soapbox. But, like, I feel that there's a place for it because it allows human beings to put a scope onto something that is so... Massive, exactly. I mean, even me, like, I could read every part of religious text that's in the world right now, and I still would barely scratch the surface. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, but it allows people a way to kind of perceive this just massive eternity, essentially, you know? So I find that there is respect in it. I find that some people they kind of abuse it almost, you know? They become very fanatic of it. And it's like, all right, whatever, that kind of bugs me because it's like, dude.
Really?
Yeah, really? Yeah, it's like, you believe that?
Yeah,
100%, you know? Like, it just, they do go overboard. And that's kind of where I'm like, okay, guys, what if there's more, right? And that's kind of my biggest kick as of late. What if there's more? And that's where I'm sitting. Like, I'm sure there's more.
Yeah.
The amount of shit that I've read, I'm 1,000% certain there's more. There's more that we couldn't perceive, you know?
Yeah, and with people probably having near-death experiences and, like, psychedelics, man.
Yeah, dude.
There's, like... But it's weird, man, with everything that, like, life has to offer and things you've heard and stuff. Yeah. It's so mysterious, dude. Right? Like, life in general, dude, it's, very, very mysterious.
Jordan Peterson is kind of been out with a movie on London Real. I believe it's called Reconnect.
No, it's already out.
Oh, is it out?
Have you not seen Reconnect?
No, I don't think I've seen it all. No, dude, I've been seeing a lot of shit about it on social media.
It's
lately.
out,
I'm
man.
Like, yo,
go on London Real. Watch that film.
Okay, yeah.
Watch that fucking film. It's good as fuck. It's a good ass fucking.
I didn't realize it was out. I thought it was coming out.
It's about Brian Rose and his ayahuasca trips.
Okay, yeah.
It's really good. I recommend it. It's an awesome documentary, man. Fucking
right, but what I was getting at with that is like, even in that whole movie, you know, they say like, dude. What we understand, it's completely mysterious. Oh, yeah. You know, because it invokes something into your mortal body that, like, makes you think. You know, it puts you something, it defies what logic we have today, you know?
But,
and that's what's
watch
so
the hell out.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch the hell out.
Yeah, because you don't know what you're inviting into your little world.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well, man, I'm pleased with today.
Yeah, very much so.
And I'm sure you are.
It's been a good week.
Yeah.
It has been a good week.
Yeah, man.
Keep thinking.
Always keep thinking about your life and what the meaning of life is to you.
Right.
And, you know, I challenge people to sit down with their journal and write down how your week went. And at the end of the night, for at least this week, sit down with yourself before you go to bed.
Let me put a twist on that, if I may.
Oh yeah, go for it.
See, because
Fuck no.
Right. I mean, if you don't do a journal, don't journal it. Draw something. Express your week.
Yeah.
In some way.
Okay.
Dude, write a song. Record your thoughts. Write it. Type it up on your little blog page. Whatever, dude. Find some outlet throughout this week to express the meaning of life to you.
Yes.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Right.
Beautiful.
Right on. Well, this is Harris.
This is Hernat.
And this is the Power of 8 show, episode 12.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yep, you guys keep on killing it.